But I say unto you, love your enemies. Bless them that curse you. Do good to them that hate you. And pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Which is the first commandment of all?
Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might, and with all thy strength. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets.
Master, thou hast said the truth. There is one God, and none other but He. And to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, and with all the soul, and with all the strength, and to love his neighbor as himself, is more than all the whole burnt offerings and sacrifices.
Thou art not far from the kingdom of God.
He's in your room.
The truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong. Lift your voice, let it resound. The truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong. God's above, just past the veil, firmament high, we will not fail. Jesus reigns, the King of Kings, in his hands, the peace he brings. He's the light, the truth our guide, in this flat earth we'll take pride. Lift your voice, let it resound, the truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong, 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 wrong. no tilt. Stars dance across the sky. Across the sky.
What's up, man?
Are you a TikToker?
Yeah, I'm on here doing freestyle raps for people. Could I do a freestyle for you?
Yeah.
See you guys
yes.
in 3 minutes.
Okay, dope. I need your help because I'm gonna improvise.
That was
Okay.
DJ
Can you give me like a song topic?
Okay. A grizzly bear drinking milk.
A grizzly bear drinking milk.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude, I love it. Oh wow, you got a grizzly bear on your mug right there?
Yeah, it's milk. That's
You drinking milk out of there?
Yes.
Oh wow,
I do.
so this makes so much sense. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm always ready.
Let's go. Yeah, 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 okay, yeah, come on, yeah. Any forest, I get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, yo, my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk, yeah, I'm a grizzly, that's mad facts, us bears, we got a bad rap, yeah, people aren't really aware, when they see us while they hiking, yo, they get scared, they like, no, that's that dude, that grizzly that's really gonna steal our food, damn, hey, yo, his size is godly, he might even catch us and eat our bodies, yeah, people think that I'ma eat them raw, people scared of my teeth, scared of my claws, people scared cause my size is giant, and they know in a fight that I'm certain to triumph. But here's the thing, I don't like people. I'm not a bad guy, I'm not evil. Nah, that's not the way I'm built. I ain't gonna eat you, I just want your milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. I said my fur, it be smoother than silk. I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear, yeah. And my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, real big how I been built. I'm not really a fan of the skim milk. I do invent, loving to drink the 2%. Yeah, and y'all know I don't make people feel the wrath. I want the half and half, yeah. Yo, look in my eyes, they so dreamy. Pour me a glass of milk that's mad creamy. All the milk, you know it shook me. But hey, I think I'll need some cookies. Yeah, that's gonna make sure my mood don't get low. When I got the cookies, I can dip those. Yeah, if I got the milk, it's a miracle. Yeah, I might need a bowl of cereal. Ah shit, man, he even had the prop. Y'all know we drinking non-stop. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Hey, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Yeah, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Hey, so I'm just out here drinking milk. I said, any forest, I'll get busy there. Yeah, I'm a motherfucking grizzly bear. Hey, and my fur, it be smoother than silk. Come on, I'm just out here drinking milk. Yeah, I'm about to make you aware. If you got milk, better pour a glass for the bear. Yeah, I'm out here getting busy. Pour me a glass of milk for this grizzly. Yeah, I'ma make you aware. Hey, go and pour a glass of milk for the bears. Hey, y'all know the milk got me amped. And if you don't pour me a cup, I'll terrorize your camp. Let's go.
You insane.
Let's go. Let's go. Hey guys, good to see you. I thought I would get Vicky to stay for another little bit. Baby, well, that's a little bit better, but still, just because the song says it doesn't mean you have to. Anyway, let's say hello to everybody. I think the first one was Alan Antonio. Good to see you, man. Roger, good to see you. Skeptic. Good to see you, bro. Baz in the house. Sandro in the house. Only Abdut's in the house. Jaminas, good to see you, bro. I'll need your name in a second. Sandro said, Jeremy Bird, always a pleasure, man. And we don't see you enough, obviously. Who else we got? Oh, we got J.R. Hartley. He's new to my channel. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. I know him from Flatches, obviously, but he's new to my channel. Bless you, man. Good to see you, dude. Babe, always a pleasure. Who else we got? I think that's about it. If I've missed anybody, I'm sorry. Yeah, DJ New Moon. DJ New Moon's that was DJ New Moon's video. Just came out yesterday for me now. On the night of the new moon. So you released that. I only seen it in Flatches. I downloaded it straight away. I had to show up for tonight's one. So excellent. DJ New Moon, brilliant stuff, man. Always good stuff coming from him, man. It's excellent. I thought I'd dip my toe and give you some support, but nice one, Shay. Good to see you, though. Good to see you. Bless you, bro. Nice one. Right, we'll do as always do. Start off. We're doing a little topic tonight on the YouTube. Obviously, this is not a my normal days. I do like a few hours long topic on YouTube, don't I? But on a movie night, because I haven't done a movie night this weekend at all, I do like an hour kind of topic on YouTube. Then we head over to Rumble and play. Well, it'll be The Chosen tonight. The 2 episodes of Chosen of the series Chosen, and then the movies. Leaving the World Behind, or Leave the World Behind. Leave the World Behind. The one that Michael and Barack Obama had their hand in producing or directing or something or writing. Can't remember. But that one anyway. But first of all, Jimenez, where's your name? Luca, don't bother. Go away. You're not welcome. CPU edition, is it now? Luca, you're not welcome. Go away. You know not to come here. I don't want you back. I've had enough. Go away. Simple. Don't want to see your videos. I don't want nothing to do with you. I hope you find Christ. Simple as that. I've tried my hardest with you. Don't want nothing to do with you. Guess not. No. Bye now, Luca. Hope all the best for you. Goodbye. Right. Jimenez. Luca, you haven't gone yet. I don't want you here. Let me see. Where is your name, Jim? I need Jimenez's name. There it is. Go channel. Give me 2 seconds. No, you can't. I don't want to hear anything, Luca. I've heard it all before. Go away. I'm not interested anymore, Luca. Go away. Anyway, let's carry on. Jimenez and Hoos. Let's do some of your observations. Luca, do you want me to ban this account? I'll easily ban it. Right, bye. Thank you. Right, he's gone. He's gone. Sorry about that. I've tried my hardest with Luca. I'm not trying anymore. I've done. It's someone else's problem. It's his own problem. I'm done. Done enough. Done enough. Anyway, and he just keeps throwing it back in your face, and then seeks retribution when he thinks it's not going his way. Tries to get people to go against you. Anyway, let's do what you normally do. Get out of video. One of Jim's up. Right, well, Jim put some new ones. Oh, look at that, man. No way. Put some pigeons. You know what's going up, don't you? It'd be the pigeons. Nice. Jim and the pigeons. Right, hold on. No, we need the music. Nice, likey wakey. Yes. Roger, don't make me come in there, globalist. You what, Roger? You can't come in, no? Globalist. I like it. Sorry. Window. Big Mike Productions. No, I didn't miss Enos and Roger, but just in case I did, Enos and Roger, good to see you guys, but I don't think I did. All right. Are you watching the Grand Bounds? Got you. All good, bro. So I mean, I don't really. I mean, we're just watching the guy analyzing their body language after they came back from Apollo. The Apollo 11 mission after they came back from nowhere. You know what I'm on about. So yeah, they're analyzing the body language before and after. I think it is. Can't remember the guy's name. Downloaded it. It's in my watch list. Did I put him in? Have I put him in my? I haven't put him in the description yet because I did this earlier. Because I was in a rush when I did this earlier. So I will put them in the description, actually. I'll actually go and find it now. Sandra in the Who's. Sandra, how you doing, bro?
PJ.
Ooh, how you doing, man? Bloody hell, that was loud. Good to see you, bro. Yeah, it's all right. I've turned it down. I've turned you down a bit. I'll turn it down a bit. Cool.
Yeah.
You good?
Yeah. Just had a nice shower.
Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely.
Yeah.
Bloody Who is that? I don't know who that is. I don't know who you are. Who is this? I don't know. I don't know who this is. Hold on. Who is it? Who's this?
It's Porter.
It's who?
Cajun.
I can't hear you. Who is it?
Cajun. This is Cajun.
Oh, Cajun. Right. Got you. How you doing, man? You good?
Just dropping in.
I didn't recognize you with your bloody hat on, man.
Yeah, that's all good.
How you doing, Cajun?
Good to see you, man.
It's amazing how their feathers curl up like that. You know that completes like the golden ratio. If you start from the center point of the eye and you start the circle and go out, it wraps around and goes up right where that curl goes up of his feathers.
Yeah. Hey, what's it? Jim breeds pigeons and that. He's brilliant. It's his pictures. He's
Okay.
usually just got like star observations, moon observations, but every now and again he sticks some of his pigeons in there. It's really good, man. Love them.
That's right.
Excellent. I'll play them anyway. Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I used to fly pigeons and race them with my father-in-law.
Aye.
Yeah, he used to go to the pigeon shows as well at Blackpool. What's that big place? Summer Gardens in Blackpool.
In Blackpool, I'm not sure. I've only been to Blackpool once in my life.
Yeah,
I'm not sure what they're called there, man.
big massive
But,
place with theatres and everything in there.
Mm,
It's that annual pigeon show.
nice.
It's-
Nice.
Yes,
And Mike
yes,
Tyson was a bit about Mike Tyson liked his pigeons and that, didn't he?
yeah, he does. Yeah,
Mm.
they are some uncostable fortune. Even the Queen used to race pigeons.
Aye. I mean, Jake Paul, before he fought Mike, well, if you can call it a fight, it wasn't a fight. Jake Paul, before he had that bout with Mike Tyson, gave him a pigeon as a present. And he says, I can't take that home with me, it's too scraggy. He says, it cost me $3,000. He says, that's a scraggy, horrible thing. He didn't take it, he didn't accept it.
Yeah, they're worth a lot of money if you want the proper ones.
Aye.
Yeah, I've done racing pigeons, tumblers, tipplers, fancies.
I haven't got a clue about pigeons, but I like the pictures. I like the, you know what I mean? Anything that Jim puts out there, especially when it's got the birds in it, it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, even with pigeons, you can't race them unless they've been vaccinated.
Right?
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's
That's
massive.
crazy. It's amazing how they can drop a pin, like just say like on a map, and you can take them somewhere and they go right back to where that pin drop was.
It is mad. Bowman pigeons are really good at it. I mean, I don't know how they do it.
Some type of
Amazing.
frequency. I'm interested in, I wonder what the actual scientific census is on how they hone back in.
I know.
I wonder what
that
it
would,
is.
That would be interesting.
Yes.
I mean, like with bats, with sonar, pigeons, they've got some other
Frequency.
ways in it.
Now I think they use the magnetic field of the Earth.
Yeah.
Maybe,
How do they know to
maybe.
drop a pin on it though? That's what gets me is like, how do they know where they were?
Ooh,
Is
true.
there some type of memory like resonance that's
Yeah,
like reverberating there or something?
Yeah, you're trying them from where your pen is,
Okay.
from where you keep them. You take them like 5 miles away, and they come back home. And they take them 10 miles, and then they keep finding the way back. You have to train them.
I wonder if they can calculate the ether at its vibrational state and where, you know what I'm saying? Something like that.
Yeah, I'd say so because on a race, a lot of them get totally lost.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, they don't always come back. They end up in the town centre, shitting on everybody.
It's pretty amazing though.
They're really cool, man. But Jim, how are they doing now anyway, your pigeons? Are they looking a bit healthier? You said they looked all scraggy last time I asked.
Wow. So this is a pretty big thing here.
Cool, isn't it?
Got a big operation going on, but
Yeah, isn't it? This is a show.
No, that's a show.
This is a show.
That's pigeon exhibition.
are these show
Yeah,
pigeons?
it is. Hold on, I'll just show you. Yeah, I think it's an
Okay. Wow.
this one, yeah. A
What are the
pigeon
earnings?
Melbourne show. It's in Melbourne. It's a show in Melbourne anyway. Yeah.
Okay. What are the winnings for something when you show one?
No idea, Jim. Jim in chat. Winnings. Is there any kind of winnings for anything like that?
Yeah. There's big prizes. They
Oh,
have like show competitions,
Okay.
and I think these on screen are probably for sale.
Okay.
Right.
It's
What's the
massive
retail?
events.
What's the retail for one that's something like that?
You can pay thousands and thousands.
Okay.
Crazy, isn't it? Man,
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
It is.
So what got you into pigeons?
Not me. I mean, I'm not into pigeons myself.
Well, I know,
Jim.
Jim, what got you into?
Oh yeah. Jim and chat. Yeah, you win a big fart. Jim, yeah. What got you into pigeons, man? Caitlin's asking.
Here you go, PJ. The highest price ever paid for a racing pigeon is 1.6 million euros.
1.6 million euros. So, wow,
That's about 1.8 million US dollars.
So about £1 million then. £1 million.
That's amazing.
That's craziness.
Yeah. Your best ones are from Belgium,
Okay.
like your Van Bosch and things like that.
I heard they make some good fertilizer too, the droppings. I'm just saying.
I know they stink.
Yeah.
Like for corn,
I know the
like
crop
that,
stinks.
use the fertilizer. Then what you do is you plant like two 20-foot rows of corn, and then you feed your chickens with the corn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a circle. Yeah.
I haven't got a clue.
That way you don't have to buy feed, you know, but you still got to go out there and tend the corn and make sure there's no, you know. But yeah, a little bit of work pays off some cheaper eggs.
That's actually a lot of work.
Yep.
Cleaning them, feeding them, flying them.
I can't believe I didn't recognize you backstage. I was like, who's that? I really didn't recognize you.
Yeah, I shaved too, though. I met, you know, whenever you get up early and you just real tired and you go, oops, if you ever had a beard, you know, and you make that one little niche in it. Well, so I did that. So I had to shave my whole mustache off. So I do look good.
Yeah, people do though when they shave like facial hair. If you're used to seeing me facial hair and then all of a sudden it's gone, you just don't recognize it.
That's right.
Yes, all poop goes into the garden, Jim says. No doubt. Holy crap, that's a lot of bag. I don't think the crap's holy. I think it's pigeon crap, but I don't know if it's really holy.
The thing is, it's not the shit that's the problem.
Pebbles says my hands are always in the shit. No, sorry. Jim said to Pebbles, my hands are always in the shit.
Yeah, it's not the shit that's really the problem. They create in the wings, in the feathers, they got like a dust. It's called dander, and that gets in your lungs if you don't wear a mask.
I didn't know that either. I didn't have a clue about it. Man. Only thing I know about pigeons is they used to send, you know what I mean? They used to take messages in the war, stuff like that. That's why homing pigeons, you raise some pigeons and the ones you get in town. It's the only thing that I know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are ace, Jim, man. Nice one. I have been getting on to Jim for ages to do pigeon ones, haven't I? Right, nice one, Jim. I'll put your link in for anybody watching there. The replay. You're on 291 now, Jim. Excellent, bro. Excellent. It's getting there, isn't it? Mine's since I've got to 600 subs, it's gone up to 605, back down to 601. I think it's back up to 603 now. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. They won't let me get past 610. Anyway, Jim. Excellent, bro. Nice one, dude. Always a pleasure, dude. Showing your stuff. There we go. Right, so we'll get this video up and then we'll get over to Rumble and watch the movie after. Let's do it. I can't remember his name. I did say I was going to get the thing, didn't I? Hey, hold on, did I download that? I don't know if I did. No, anyway. 2 secs. I'm trying. I'm just got to get his link. The guy, because I've got it downloaded. I need to go and get his link so I can put it in chat. Just go to your What's with RPG, you numpty. There we go. See, I debated another video as well about his highlights of his interviews throughout the years.
You know what? I just had a brain fart. So think about this: if you had a really nice sized drone with a laser on it, and you could get the elevation height, and you see how it's looking across the sky right there in your background, say 40 miles away, if you could, on a clear day, if you could elevate a drone the same elevation height and line the lasers up, have some kind of coordinates where it could line them, like it can tell when it lines perfectly, and then do a laser on the back of it pointing level and horizontal, and just do about 6 or 7 stretches like that.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome, man. Absolutely. Anything that helps out really. I mean, come on. Any measurement that has been done, any observation been done, it's all flat. You know, it's all level.
We've never done the drone.
Yeah, sorry. Of course.
Now that would be sick.
Absolutely. Right, there's the link for the guy video I'm just about to use because I've got it downloaded. I'll just get it now, guys. It's he's kind of examining the body language. I think he's trying to show no bias. So I think he's trying to be objective about showing the body language. Analyzing the body language of the astronauts that came back from the alleged Apollo 11 mission. So he's analyzing the body language and trying to be objective about it. So let's see what he says.
I have a question real quick. Did Katy Perry actually get sued by Jeff Bezos? What's your think on that?
Oh, sued for what?
Jeff, the story is because Katy opened the door too fast. So he's suing her for $50 million because investors are dropping off.
Well, but wow, that's crazy.
Yes.
Is that just to try and blindside us to things, or do you really think that's happening?
Access Hollywood did a story on it, dude.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Wow.
That's pretty big over here. It's almost like TMZ, kind of.
I get that.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting one, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah. I'm gonna look a little further into it. So I've kind of touched base on it the other night. We watched it like 3 times because 3 people brought it to our attention.
Like Kevin just said in chat, PG, it's all damage control. That's what I was thinking. Is it damage control? You know what I mean? Absolutely.
I think it was deliberately done too on some basis, bro. Come on, they would have never filmed it or released it like that. Come on, because it was all pre-done.
I think even NASA do that. Surely they can't. Look how many mistakes we see NASA doing. Right. Some of that's got to be intentional because some of it's blatant.
Right. That's right. Kind of like what do they call it? Revelation of the method.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nuts, man. The amount of deception going about, and it's been going on about for a long time as well, and we never realized it. Well, a lot of people did. We didn't when we were at school, not obviously, but people did before us.
All right. That's right. Yep.
Oh, sorry. I've just opened an image file. No, wrong one. Cancel. Video file, not image file. Right, here we go. There we go.
Here, I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, and
guys, you know it's good. Just give me a shout if you need to say anything, and I'll stop the video.
Oh, this is gonna be sick.
Yeah, let's have a look. Flat says he had a look at it. He says it's really good. He says in the end, he kind of he shows his bias, but he says he does kind of stay neutral all the way through. He does show that could be deception. It might be seen this way, it might be seen that way, or whatever. But he says it's a good video anyway. So it's a good video.
And Michael Collins after the Apollo 11 space mission. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my
chilling. Good to see you in the house. I didn't say hello to you, Pebbles, did I? I did mention you, but I didn't say hello to you. Good to see you. And Heron, good to see you as well. On the updates, I think I said hello to you, but good to see you guys.
Opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. So what ultimately led me to decide to analyze this is that I was watching a podcast with Joe Rogan and Matt Walsh. Matt Walsh is not a skeptic of the moon landing. Joe Rogan seems to be. He doesn't insist that it didn't happen, but he seems skeptical that it did. And one of the things that Joe Rogan talked about was that this press conference was strange, that their behavior was weird. So I thought I would watch it and see what I observed, see if I agreed with that.
Well, I have now. Well, morning, Pebbles. It's early hours of the morning for me. Good to see you.
I decided to look at the comments and some of the raw footage,
LJ,
and a lot of people feel that way. So,
sorry, LJ, good to see you as well, bro.
hopefully this will help you get a better understanding of the body language that we're seeing. Now, one thing that's important for me to be upfront about as we start this is that I am not a skeptic when it comes to the moon landing. I have not explored all of the conspiracies about this. I don't know all the reasons people believe that it didn't happen, but I'm going to tell you exactly what I see during this. I'm going to tell you if there are signs of deception, and I will tell you exactly what the body language says. My goal...
Well, fair play. I hope he does. I hope he stays neutral on the way through and doesn't show any bias. Like I said, Platt said he had a look at it and he thinks he did pretty well. So, yeah, let's have a look.
For every video I do is to be neutral, and I feel the same way about this. So even though I have my own perspectives on this, I will tell you exactly what I'm observing from their body language. And after we finish watching some of this footage, we're actually going to go back and look at some of the footage from the press conference before the mission. All right.
So he's doing it backwards. He's doing after the mission and then before. I think it's a good way to do it.
Let's just jump right in.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the Apollo 11 crew, astronauts Neil Armstrong.
Because before they allegedly went, they were really more excited and stuff like that. When they've allegedly come back, they do seem to me sullen. It's not like they've never been in some kind of mission. It's like they've got the weight of the world on them, you know what I mean? Luke, good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Hey, Luke, I wanted to see you. Yeah, the thing that we were going to do is Wednesday good. Wednesday, 2 p.m. GMT. Is that all right? Wednesday, 2 p.m. GMT, and we could do that then? If that's all right for you, give me a shout.
Michael Collins, Edwin Aldrin. Neil?
So if you look at the behavior already, you can see they're all a little bit closed off. Buzz Aldrin's on the left, Neil Armstrong's in the middle, Michael Collins on the right. So this is going to be their baseline right now.
And none of their eyes seem to face straight forward to me. It's all like, well, Michael Collins in the end was kind of looking down to see what Neil Armstrong was doing with his hands, like Buzz Aldrin's sitting there fidgeting. They do, like he says, they don't look forthcoming at all at that point anyway.
The baseline is basically their default body language. Oftentimes, particularly when it comes to deception, we look for changes in body language. So right now, all of them are a little bit closed off. They're all touching their hands. They're not wide open, which is something that we look for when it comes to honesty. We'll see if that changes.
I will do, Luke. I'll put it in WhatsApp. I'll put it in WhatsApp now so you remember, but I'll remind you closer to the time as well, bro.
As we keep going.
It was our pleasure to have participated in one great adventure.
Now, if you look at his shoulders already, they're very bunched up. So he may be somebody that's either uncomfortable speaking in front of others or he feels anxious right now. But this type of shoulder position we think of and we associate with discomfort and stress.
It's an adventure that took place not just in the month of July, but rather one that took place in the last decade. Oh, we all here and the people.
Now you may.
To me, it doesn't seem too sure to be so at all. Like, what adventure? You know, like he's talking about an adventure for 10 years, and it's like, yeah, we've been on an adventure for 10 years, guys. It's been amazing. You know, there's no.
You know what I'm saying? Sounds like his puppy just died.
Yes. And the puppy's brothers and sisters, and the mother and father too.
He just don't want to like spit it out. Look, and he had to smack his mouth. He clenched his mouth down, and he had this look on his face like, "What am I supposed to do here?"
Yeah. They're all closed. They're all hands together. They're closed off. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, thing is that they've just got back from doing something that nobody in history has ever done, and they're acting like this. Look how football players act when they've just scored a goal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You know,
That's
they worship the blooming football. They worship each other. They snog each other. They jump on top of each other. You know,
Yeah.
Madness, isn't it?
Yeah.
may have noticed he just scooted back. Now, when we are emotionally connected to people, whether it's in court, which is oftentimes what I'm analyzing, or whether it's situations like this, the more we lean forward, the more we're trying to connect with the person we're speaking to. Leaning back, sometimes it can be for comfort, but sometimes it's also a way to disconnect a little bit. Let's look at the context of when he did that.
One that took place in the last decade.
Sorry, somebody says something.
No.
Oh no, it must have been just him transferring over him.
You're good. See that right there?
We all
that's the one. That's like I don't want to be in this situation.
Oh yeah, like well, how am I supposed to approach this? You know?
Yeah, backing off from it, pulling yourself away from it for a second. Just I don't know, even for a second to think.
It's amazing, isn't it, when you see it through a different lens?
Of course.
Yeah, and the thing to say, it's like a 5-year-old child is speaking.
Yeah.
It's basic.
Yeah.
Exactly, J.R. Hartley.
Anyway, spanner for J.R. Hartley, please, PJ.
Well, I usually say the second time. Yeah, it's only his first time, but in this occasion, I'll give him it.
Yeah, we all know Jay.
Yeah, I know. I said that earlier. Supposedly walked on the moon and made it back safely. You'd be ecstatic, in my opinion. Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro. There you go, dude. There you go. Add as moderator. Standard. Save. You're now moderator, bro.
Jim.
And the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that.
Jim, right. They look like the favorite pigeons.
Adventure over its developing and unfolding.
So for whatever reason, when he talked about this being something that they've been working on for the last decade, he chose that to be the time that he scooted back a little bit. Now, I want you to watch Buzz Aldrin, who's on the left. I want you to watch his mouth right here.
We all here and the people listening in today had the opportunity to share that.
So you see him licking his lips. Now, this is something that Buzz Aldrin does quite a lot, actually. We're going to be talking about that more as we go. But when you lick your lips, it's a way to feel less stressed. It's a way to calm yourself down. It's a pacifying behavior. So why is it that right now?
I think it's like calming yourself, like rubbing yourself and stuff, isn't it? Licking your lips.
Just to kind of ease your.
Yeah. Where's my dummy? Where's my pacifier?
That's it. I don't know much about body language, but you can certainly tell things. I know you look for like clusters of things.
Yeah.
And just doing something one time doesn't necessarily mean deception. But doing it in clusters definitely maybe does. But I don't know much about it. But you can tell. You can tell.
That's right.
As Neil Armstrong is talking about this, why is that a time that Buzz Aldrin is trying to calm himself down? Let's see whether or not there's a pattern to it. But oftentimes that suggests that you're feeling something. We don't have to calm ourselves down for no reason. So whether or not that he's just anxious being on the world stage because this was potentially or arguably the biggest event in human.
We've not long started, to be honest. Well, I've been on for 45 minutes, but we've not long started the topic. Links at the top, Ryan, if you want to come in.
Human history at the time. Maybe that's just anxiety provoking for him, but we are seeing him do pacifying behaviors. Michael Collins less so. He just seems to be engaged right now, but we'll see if that changes.
Adventure over its developing and unfolding in the past months and years. It's our privilege today to share with you.
So as Neil Armstrong is continuing to talk, watch his hands right here. See.
Yeah, he's very fidgety. I mean, scratching himself, rubbing himself. Another comfy thing, maybe. I don't know.
He's picking at his knuckle right there. This, once again, is a pacifying behavior. Those are what we look at, and those are what we focus in on when it comes to whether or not somebody's being deceptive or is uncomfortable. The reason that we associate calming behaviors, pacifying behaviors with being deceptive is because we oftentimes feel uncomfortable being deceptive. We don't like to do it. So when we're doing it, we have to do things to calm ourselves down.
Go on.
Wow. That is wild.
It is, isn't it?
This is a good one, dude. This is a gem.
Good. Yeah. I mean, I just came across it, never heard the guy at all, but as soon as I spoke about it tonight, Flats was like, "Yeah, I've watched it." I was like, "Wow, maybe it's getting pushed to like the same kind of people, like we watch the same type of stuff."
You got the link to the full thing of it?
Yeah, to this one I'm playing. This is the only one I've got. Yeah, I've got the link to it. Yeah, I'll just put it in chat.
That's what's up. I'm gonna get it from you later. Okay, sorry about that.
I'll put it in private chat here if you want.
Cool.
I think this is it.
I got to do one on this.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Let's link that. So I mean, you can get to his channel through that way.
Awesome.
It's in the private, and I'll put it in the chat and YouTube again, just in case. There we go.
Privilege today to share with you some of the details of that final month of July. That was certainly the highlight for the three of us of that decade.
Wow.
We're going to divert
the highlight for the three of you is for that decade.
Yeah, really sounded like a highlight.
Yeah, and you'd think if it was a highlight for them as well, they'd be like, "Well, yeah, of course, man, definitely a highlight for us as well." They'd be joining in with them, but they're just like,
seemed like they'd be jumping up and down, wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? They just got back from the moon.
You'd think, man.
Yeah.
Nuts. Ryan, I've sent you the email, the StreamYard link in your email if you can't get into YouTube by any chance. I've sent you in your email.
A little bit from the format.
And there's Buzz Aldrin licking his lips again. Not seeing a whole lot from Michael Collins yet, but I'll continue to watch.
Of past press conferences and talk about the things that interested us most, in particular the things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use.
So, if you're wondering why unconsciously.
That's true, LJ. That's true. He said, nowadays, even a lot of the normies, globies, don't believe in landing. That's right. That's right. I mean, look at how many. Oh, hey, everybody, Piper, good to see you. Look how many people have kind of opened their eyes to the Blue Origin thing, and a lot of normies and globers and that as well.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, it's happening. Ryan, good to see you, bro.
They're eventually going to just fall down and stick their foot all the way down their throat.
Yes. Absolutely, bro.
And it's going to come out their arse.
It'll come right out their arse.
Straight out the arse.
So many people are saying they're being weird, they're being deceptive. Look at how still they all are. Now, I know this was the 1960s. Men tried to be very stoic, so it could really be as simple as that. But they're all very still. And the reason that being still matters is that we tend to associate stillness with trauma.
You mean like dumb, dumber, and dumberer?
Yeah. You know, in their head, they're probably hearing right now, dum, da, dum, dum, dum.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it actually looks like not Michael Collins, Buzz.
Oh my gosh.
How you look.
I hate it for him, bro. I hate it for him.
It's mad, isn't it?
What does that gotta feel like to be lying to humanity, bro? Think about that one.
Exactly. That's a big thing on the shoulders. That's what I mean. That's why I think they are like this.
How can you carry that?
I know. I mean, come on. You can see nowadays that Buzz Aldrin, not Neil Armstrong. Buzz Aldrin is letting it out. He's letting the truth out bit by bit, isn't he? You know what I mean? To that young girl and whoever else he spoke to. I can't remember who it was. He's been saying, you've seen it. You've seen it.
Yep. Boss Sabrell.
Yeah.
And then, people actually say, "Oh, you're taking that out of context."
Yeah, take that out of context. Yeah, right. Of course. How can you take that out of context?
I know, right?
Yeah, exactly. Luke, I was just saying that Blue Origin backfired too. All the normies saying it was fake. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Yep.
Trying to hide because there's an instinctual part of us that when we feel threatened, We believe if we sit still enough, we can avoid that threat. So oftentimes when people are being deceptive or they're lying, they try to move less. That's sort of the goal because we don't want to be seen. Watch this right here.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I do. I remember being in the police station when I was younger. You know what I mean? You being that cautious, and I'd done it. I'd done these things, and I'm trying to say no, never. You are. You're kind of sitting there stiff. You know what I mean? No, never. Yeah, I get that. I get what you're saying.
Things that occurred on and about the moon. We will use.
And then there is Buzz Aldrin licking his lips again. Does this mean that the moon landing didn't happen? Of course not. But it does.
It kind of does.
Yeah, of course it does.
Not just this evidence, but there's a lot more evidence, bro. A lot more.
I mean, if you poison somebody, right? You wouldn't just poison them a little bit, right? You just poisoned them. You don't. There's no such thing as, like not poisoning them enough to be harmful, right? If you give someone poison, you're poisoning them. It doesn't really matter. The court's not going to look at it like on your side.
That's right, bro.
Does show that there is stress around this, that there is unusual body language that we're seeing, and I think that that's what people are keying in on, and that's what people are focusing on. They're seeing that there is something that makes them feel unsettled when they watch this.
A number of films and slides, which most of you have already seen, and with the intent of pointing out some of the things that we observed on the spot, which may not be obvious to
you don't seem very sure about what you observed, to be honest.
Sounds like he forgot to read the script well enough.
No, he's looking like he's trying to word it to where he don't have to lie, kind of.
Yeah, his conscience is getting the best of him. That's what it is.
You know something? That's a good observation, man. That's a very good observation. It looks like he's trying to word it in a way which he doesn't have to lie. Well said, man. Yeah, definitely. Well, observed.
Those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth.
Now, up to this point, Neil Armstrong hasn't been licking his lips as much as Buzz Aldrin does. Like I said, he does it a lot. Neil Armstrong does it less. Let's go back and see what he's talking about and why he's licking his lips at this time.
Those of you who are looking at them here from the surface of Earth.
Hey, I want to make an observation real quick. He's trying to separate the pictures from the actual moon topic so it can be a separate topic. So when he comments about the pictures, it's not associated with the moon. So he wasn't lying. I guarantee that's what he probably did. I think that's what he just did.
Got ya.
Whether or not that he's just not a comfortable public speaker, this does seem to be continuing to stress him out. There does seem to be stress here. And I understand they've been in quarantine for like 21 days. They just got back from an incredibly...
They weren't in quarantine anywhere. They might have been in a hotel put up somewhere, you know what I mean, and given some drinks and some smokes and some drugs and that to take for a bit, but they weren't in quarantine anywhere. I suppose you can call it quarantine in a way. Just being kept out of the way, you know what I mean? Not being able to go out and that until it's all over. You know what I mean? Hey, DJ New Moon, good to see you, bro. I played your new song at the start, man. Fantastic, bro. Love it. Excellent. Do you know what else I haven't watched yet? Is Jamie Sea Level's new animation of Arwen. I haven't watched it yet, but I've got it saved.
Yes, everybody woke up today and said, I'm going to go on live stream today. I think I have 5 of my friends or 5 people that I follow that are on live right now. I'm like, what? How can I do this?
But yeah, good to see you, DJ Newman. And like I say,
you know where I came though, right, PJ? I came over here instead.
Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. I love you, dude. Yeah, it's excellent, dude. Honestly, I can't praise it enough. I've already got it downloaded in here. I've got it uploaded to StreamYard, ready to go again anytime.
complicated space mission. So there are reasons that they might feel stressed outside of the idea of deception and lying. But like I said, I'm trying to be as neutral as I can, and I'm trying to point out everything that I see that could be related to that. So let's keep watching. Let's see what else comes up.
Well, fair enough. He is trying to be neutral, but he's obviously his bias will take over at some bits, like all our biases will.
The flight, as you know, started promptly, and I think that was characteristic of.
Now, another thing you're going to see.
He's looking very uncomfortable. It's like his collar is bothering him. Nodding the head forwards. It's like, oh, my collar's bothering me. That type of thing. When you're uncomfortable in something that you wear. When he puts his head forward like that, he's uncomfortable. He really is.
Here's you're going to see a slight smirk come across his face. The question is why. Now, he's saying that the flight was prompt. Maybe there's a joke in that. Maybe there's something funny about that, or maybe that's a play on that idea. But you do see a smirk right here, which we...
It was prompt because it was non-existent. Well, something went up in the sky, but they didn't.
Do sometimes actually associate, once again, with deceptiveness. Watch this right here.
The flight, as you know, started promptly.
You see that smile right there? Now, it could have been, once again, something about the idea of it being prompt. That there may be some humor in that. Maybe that's something that I'm not fully understanding because I don't know the context of that part of it well enough.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I think they all completed training, etc. Then at the last minute, they were told they weren't going but needed to fake it or else. Definitely, because if you see the interviews beforehand, they're definitely a lot more cheery than this. You know what I mean? I agree. I would agree with that.
But that's a very clear smirk right here.
And I think that was characteristic of all the events at the flight. The Saturn gave us one magnificent ride, both into Earth orbit and on a trajectory to the moon. Our memory.
He's slow. He's slow coming out with things. Is he thinking what to say?
Trying to recall the script.
Try to recall what he should be saying. Trying not to like a Cajun said, trying not to lie specifically
and be natural. Hard thing.
Yeah. I mean, obviously he's not very comfortable in public either, but I mean that's compartmentalization, Luke. Definitely.
Of that actually differs little.
Now, this was very interesting, and I'm going to break this down bit by bit. Let's go back here because I want you to watch some important things. Okay, so first you saw him raise his eyebrows. Now, we do that for two things. Sometimes we do it when we're shocked, and sometimes we do it so that people will pay attention to our face. Like if you're in a crowd, you see somebody and you raise your eyebrows so that they'll see you. If you're talking to somebody and you raise your eyebrows, sometimes you do it for emphasis. But the goal is to bring attention to your face when you do that.
To the moon.
Yeah, it makes someone think.
Well, that would be true. That would be true. If you're trying to express something, then you are drawing someone's look to your face so they could see how you feel or how you reacted. So
and you can always tell whether or not they want to engage with you, right? You can kind of tell by the look on their face when you give them that. When you raise the eyebrows and you go to speak, even if you don't speak, you just start to and move your mouth a little bit. They'll acknowledge you and they'll lock onto your face. I don't know why people do that, but I guess it's like it's a psychological thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I get it.
Agreed, man. Agreed.
Our memory.
Now, I want you to pay close attention to his lips right
there. I missed that, Pebbles. It's really bad acting too.
I think he's got a problem with memory, that's for sure.
What did Chillin say? Oh, so this is why NASA started launching actors into space. At least they can memorize the script and make it seem real. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think you're being sarky there, aren't you?
He's compressing his lips. This specifically identifies stress or concern. Now, he's not quite withdrawing his lips. Sometimes people do that when there's something they don't want to say. But right here, this looks like there's significant stress and concern as he's specifically talking about this.
You can see it. His cheekbones sticking out. His jaw's kind of clenched a little as well.
It's the same response a mother gets when she asks her son, "Do you masturbate?"
Yeah.
You just clam up and you go, "Huh?" Like you don't know what to say. You just like you get this funny feeling like something's wrong and like everybody's looking at you and all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's it.
Let's go watch this whole sequence again because to me it's so interesting.
Trajectory to the moon. Our memory of that actually different.
His jaw was definitely clenched. His cheekbone came out. You seen the tendon in his jaw. Seeing the tendon or the muscle, whatever, in his jaw. Tense not. Me sarcastic, never. No, Chili, not you. I know you're not sarcastic. Never, dude. Never.
Tearing of flesh. That's my favorite word. Tear flesh. That's what it means. Tear flesh. Love it.
Tear flesh.
Rip some flesh.
First little. From the reports that you have all heard from those previous Saturn V flights.
What we're seeing right now is different than what else we've seen up to this point, because right now we're seeing stress and concern. We're seeing him slow down in the way he's speaking. He's stuttering a little bit. He's not as clear as he has been up to this point. So it's interesting that as he's talking about their memory of events, that brings up stress and anxiety and concern. That being said, it doesn't mean that there isn't stress and anxiety, concern actually going through the memory of doing that, going to the moon, landing on the moon. All of that is probably very anxiety provoking. There probably is a lot of stress associated with that. So that doesn't mean that he's not having actual memories of it right now.
I'd be so excited I'd be jumping out of my seat, bro. I'd be excited to answer every question and give everybody's question and answer it perfectly. Like I would.
If you just done something that you dreamed of as a kid.
Yeah, an accomplishment of the century.
Yeah. And you would actually manage to do the first step of that and get to the moon, our first satellite closest to us. You'd be over the moon. You'd be over the moon.
It'd be so hard. It's like, I'm sorry to say it that way, but yeah.
Absolutely.
But something is causing him to feel stress and concern as he's talking about that their memories differ very little than what's been reported.
From the reports that you have all heard from those previous Saturn V flights, and those the previous flights served us well in preparation for this flight in the boost as well as the subsequent phases.
This is where he starts not making any sense at all.
Yes, true.
We would like to.
Now you saw him lean back again. So after he said that, after he got through all of the stress and concern of saying that,
it's like he's getting ready to do the next. Oh, here it goes. Here's the next stage of it.
He looks like he wants to get up and run, is what he looks like.
Yeah, he really does. He really does.
Then he leaned backward. Once again, that's a way to gain emotional distance from the person we're speaking to, whether it's because it feels too intense or we're trying to disengage in some way. He just scooted back, he leaned forward again, but he felt the need to move backward. That's what would make him feel more comfortable at that time. So what we're seeing right now actually is a lot of stress and anxiety about this specific sequence of what he's talking about right now.
In the boost as well as the subsequent phases. We would like to skip directly to.
See, it looked like he was going to say something. He pursed his lips together. He withdrew his mouth a little bit, leaned back, and then regathered his thoughts. What it was that he was going to say doesn't mean it was anything profound. Doesn't mean he's trying to hide anything. But his way of interacting right now, there's a lot going on under the surface right now.
The subsequent phases.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of cognition there as well about there's a lot of weight on his shoulders. There's a lot of cognition about do I just come out and tell the truth or do I get killed or you know what I mean?
He looks like he's standing at the pearly gates waiting to be judged. Yeah, that's what he's acting.
Yeah, exactly. And like I keep saying it like Cajun says, it's like he's trying to not specifically lie about something, but get the propaganda, the agenda, the narrative out. Sorry.
You gotta figure everybody has family, right? And to your mom and your dad and your blood family, you have to explain this. So I think that's where this comes from. You know, like normally a guy could just lie and say, "Ah, no, it's no big deal. I'm just lying to be lying, and you know, I had to, and whatever. I signed something or whatever, and you guys don't understand." It's one thing to be like that, but to be like this is almost like, yeah, it's like he's preparing himself in some mental way to answer a question in a way that does not make him look bad to his own family. And that I think that's really truly what this is right here. What you're seeing is he's thinking about what am my family going to think when I lie right to their face when they know it's not true, right?
Yeah, as well as friends and the world. I'm in the public eye. You know what I mean? The media. You know, I'm going to be hated forever. That type of thing. Yeah, absolutely.
It's probably more of him being worried that someone's going to find out it was a lie eventually, and then he's going to look like a liar. See, that's the thing.
Course,
he doesn't want to be part of that, even though he's already in the middle of it. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be.
Absolutely, agree, bro.
We would like to skip directly to.
So now they're going through different aspects of the flight. We're going to be skipping around some, and after this, we're going to look at some of the Q&A.
Relatively close range. It had a decided three-dimensional effect and was undoubtedly one of the most impressive.
Now, one thing you're seeing right now is you're seeing Buzz Aldrin playing with a pen. You're going to be seeing this throughout, but this is a way, once again, to help manage feeling stressed or concerned. So when we're fidgeting like that, think about there's a goal in everything that we do body language-wise, and that is to calm ourselves down. You can also see right here, Neil Armstrong has his fingers crossed. He's a little bit closed off as well.
They're all closed off. They're all closed off without that. But we can see it mostly in. Oh, I forgot his name. Neil Armstrong. Neil Armstrong. At the minute, because he's talking.
Sites of the flight. As we left the moon after a successful TEI, this is the view that we observed. I think that we were sorry to see the moon go, but we were certainly glad to see the Earth return. We used.
Now, if you look, Michael Collins is very fidgety through this. Now, he's somebody that tends
to jump out of his seat and say something. You can tell, bro. He's like, I got to say something. I got to do something here. Like, it's like the final call before he has to actually speak and then be part of it, right?
Of course.
It's like that uncomfortableness. So.
But they all must be feeling uncomfortable, and it's his uncomfort at the minute, and they're thinking, oh no, my turn soon, I'm going to be uncomfortable. But at the same time, they must be thinking, oh, let me take over because you're doing crap, yeah. You know what I mean?
It's like waiting for your spanking when you get in trouble, and like when you and your brothers get in trouble all at the same time, and you're all going to get in trouble, and you have to stand in line and wait for the other kid to get spanked, and you're like, oh no, it's going to get worse.
Right, there you go, right, exactly.
Why didn't I tell the headmaster's office?
Hey, William McLean, good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Be very stable. So it's interesting that after they looked at these pictures, he looked back at Neil Armstrong, and then he's seeming to disengage. He's looking forward again, not looking at the pictures anymore, but he really is very fidgety throughout all this. Does that mean that there's any fakery going on? No, but it means
yes. Yes, it does.
means that there's a lot of emotions going on during this.
Well, you don't have
as
to
I said before, it's possible
somebody's lying here. Something's not right here. They came back from the flight and they were gone for a month, right? Or a week or two while what do they call that? Where they whatever.
Yeah, they said they were quarantined, didn't they? For,
right. And then they get told what they can say, what they can't. They get told the whole show, and then they sign their paperwork so that they're locked in. That's where that nervousness is at right now. It's because they don't know, because they want to say all these things and they want to be able to just freely just say, oh, it was awesome and beautiful and fake it the right way. But they have to be careful, because if they screw up, then everybody's going to judge them for it. So
like they do screw up with the stars thing. They always screw up.
Yeah, they start arguing with each other. And it's like, okay, so neither one of you know what you actually saw.
Do you remember stars? I can't remember stars. Do you remember stars? Yeah, got it. Hey, Greg, good to see you, bro.
Well, if you were sitting in a plastic ship or in a movie studio, that's probably would be an issue of you trying to remember seeing stars, right?
DJ got to drop, dude. God bless the panel.
Hey, Cajun, bless you, man. Thanks for dropping in. It's been a pleasure. You're welcome.
Hey, bro.
You.
Excellent, mate. Let's carry on.
Are very intense because having gone through something intense like going to space could all come back as they're talking about this, and maybe it makes them feel fidgety and uncomfortable. But you might also interpret that as deception. That's what's so challenging about this, is that I can tell you what we're observing.
There you go.
But I can't necessarily.
Fair enough. He is being objective. He is trying to be neutral.
Necessarily tell you their motivation for it. Now, I know a lot of people are going to interpret his discomfort as that he's lying, and maybe that's possible. Let's keep going and see what else we observe.
We're sorry to see the moon go, but we were certainly glad to see the Earth return. We took a large number of photographs of the Earth on the way out and back, and had our wristwatches set on Houston time. An interesting use can be made of that. If you were looking at this picture and you looked at your watch and your watch said 7 o'clock in the evening, then you'd know that Houston is about 7 o'clock from the evening, and it's about.
Now, this is very interesting, and I'm not even sure what to make of this, but we're seeing something here. Watch Michael.
Oh, Pebbles, later. Are you going to supervise their cage tonight? All right, bless you. Thanks for dropping in, Pebbles. Always a pleasure.
Collins react when he's talking about that it's 7 o'clock in the evening when it's set.
Sorry, Sandra, was you about to say something?
No.
Oh, sorry. I thought somebody said something.
When it's Houston, when it's 7 o'clock in the evening, just watch Michael Collins' head right here.
Said 7 o'clock in the evening, then you'd know that Houston is about 7 o'clock from the evening, and it's about.
Now, what's hard to tell, it's hard to see if Michael Collins is actually looking at Neil Armstrong right here. I mean, it appears that he is, but watch his eyes as best as you can. I know the quality of this footage isn't stellar, but it looks like he's looking past him or above him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to add to conspiracies here, but this part right.
It kind of does.
Yes. Looks like somebody in the crowd staring him down, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's not looking him straight.
Here is so strange to me. Watch his eyes and then watch his movement.
That Houston is about 7 o'clock from the evening, and it's about an hour away from sunset. So it would.
Yeah, I mean, I think with what they're doing and how they're with that, I don't know, certain things with their hands and that. I think Heron's right. I think they're consulting each other in some kind of way as well. Definitely trying to do that.
Once again, it doesn't look like he's looking at Neil Armstrong. I mean, it kind of looks like he's looking at Neil Armstrong, but it looks like he's almost looking above him or past him.
7 o'clock from the evening, and it's about. And I know that Houston is about 7 o'clock from the evening, and it's about an hour away from sunset. So.
So just to be clear, body language wise, I can interpret most things. I don't know what to make of that, other than he's making some kind of.
As Greg said, I've been in the office every day of the week for the last month. I tried to stream the show in the background while I work, but I'm not able to see the chat like I can do when I'm at night. Hey, not a problem, man. Love you, dude. Love you too, man. Bless you, dude. Listen, at least you drop in and say hello when you can, dude. It's all good. It's all good, man. He misses chat. Fair play to you. Hey, we love you, man.
Of movement that looks voluntary, and why he's doing that is anybody's guess. If anybody else has an interpretation of that, I would love to hear it below. I'm a little bit perplexed by that. I don't have a good explanation for what we were seeing. Now we're going to jump ahead to the question and answer phase.
Ask if I may, when you were carrying out that incredible moonwalk, did you find
Patrick Moore when he was thin?
Patrick Moore.
When he was thin, yeah.
find that the surface was equally firm anywhere, or were there harder and softer spots that you could detect? And secondly, when you looked up at the sky, could you actually see?
Even his questioning, he's not letting him be objective about the answers to give. He's giving them answers as well. So Patrick Moore could be well in this as well. I don't know. I mean, Patrick Moore was a big face back then as well when it came to astronomy and all that kind of crap. So he could be giving them answers. He could also be giving them answers because he's not letting them be objective about the answer, the reply. He's saying, was it this or was it that? He's not saying, what was it? He's saying, was it this? Was it that? You know? Just an observation. I could be wrong. Could be just coincidental.
The stars and the solar corona, in spite of the glare.
In rather flat regions, the footprint would penetrate perhaps a half an inch or sometimes only a quarter of an inch and gave a very firm response. In other regions near the edges of these craters, we could find that.
So right now,
reading a script from a distance. I swear, it looks like he's reading something off. I swear to God, does it not look like he's reading off a cue card?
It could be, but he could be looking straight at Patrick Moore. I don't know.
It's just weird.
It does look like that. But he could be directing his answer at Patrick Moore.
Unless he's got a handler
But it looks,
in the audience.
but it does look like he's looking down a little too low. I don't know how high they. Sorry, I don't know how.
Well, yeah,
high,
I would assume he's at least 6 to 8 feet off the ground, right? The stage,
Yeah, I
right?
would
That's the
say
general
so.
height, right? It's 6 to 10 feet off the ground. So I'm just assuming he's looking like down into the crowd right in front of him, but it does look like he's trying, like he's reading something, or he's trying to keep to a certain cue, you know?
Of course, of course.
Of course, that's
Buzz
just my
Aldrin is
opinion.
talking about this.
I could
He's
be wrong.
answering it.
No, I mean, of course, we could all be wrong, but I mean about certain aspects of it, but we're not wrong when it comes to the moon landing being fake. It's 100% fake.
Very clear and firm way. We're not seeing any fidgetiness. We're not seeing him licking his lips. We're not seeing anything else like that. So
he's a little bit more composed. So what? That means nothing. He's still not very comfortable.
So far, so good for him.
Find that the foot would sink down maybe 2, 3, possibly 4 inches.
Now, if you'll notice his eyebrows right there. Now, this is something that we associate with surprise. So as he's saying that the feet would go down however many inches, he looks surprised by that. Watch this right here.
We could find that the foot would sink down maybe 2, 3, possibly 4 inches. And in the slope, of course, the various...
So as he's putting his hands out, as he's talking about how deep the...
I thought so, Sandro. I thought it overheated when you dropped out. Bless, bro.
Feet would sink as he's moving his hands with that. We oftentimes associate that with something being very tightly connected with how he feels. So this is a situation where he is speaking clearly. He doesn't seem to be trying to hide anything right now. But he is also, once again, you might have caught the lip licking once again.
Various edges of the footprint might go on up to 6 or 7 inches, and compacting this material would tend to...
So some of the moon dust compacted down 6 to 7 inches. That's a fair distance. Okay.
Produce a slight sideways motion as it was compacted on the material underneath it. So we feel that you cannot always tell just by looking at the terrain what the exact resistance will be as your foot sinks into it.
So as you can...
He just found a line to walk along. He says that he has to go ask the question, and he just thought about the dust. And then he said a couple of things, then he thought, oh yeah, I can go along this path and say this. He's just a bit more confident than Neil.
See, as his hands are moving along with what he's talking about.
You know, I always get mixed up between Neil and Buzz, always. Not their faces, just their names. Like mix the names up between them.
This does seem to be actually connected with what he is feeling right now.
A point of firm contact, so one must be quite cautious in moving around in this rough terrain.
You can see Michael Collins and Neil Armstrong also both fidgeting with pins the whole time while he's talking about this, or at least for when we can see them.
I've got the video here, William, in StreamYard, and once I finish this, before we go over to Rumble, I'll play out with it.
Which is interesting because these are military guys. These are very disciplined guys. So rather than being able to just sit there, there's so many feelings going through them. They're having to do things to calm themselves down. Once again, that might be explained by the fact that they had been in quarantine before this. So there could be reasons for that. But we are observing a lot of fidgety anxiety.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
We never, and then I don't.
I don't
recall.
remember seeing any stars at all. You?
Yeah, we never seen any stars at all, and then I don't recall. I don't recall sounds more like I'm a bit
Unless we
unsure.
look through the optics, which whatever that means, right?
Yeah, whatever that means. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing any. What about the windows, man?
Neil, you were
when you looked through the
a little
telescope.
bit concerned. You said about stubbing your toe
Yeah.
at the point of landing because the surface was obscured by dust.
So another thing that was interesting is that Michael Collins was saying, I don't remember seeing any, and he responded to Neil Armstrong rather than to the reporter. Rather than saying that out loud, he sort of said it quietly.
Greg B, thank you for that. Let me just screenshot this. I have to show people this. Sorry. Yeah, blessing, man. Thank you. You didn't have to do that, but thank you very much for the PayPal, bro. Let me just screenshot it so I can show people. I'll keep your name out of it. I know everybody knows you're Greg B, but I'll keep your name there. I'll just screenshot it so I can show it on the screen. Paste. Sorry, I just have to save it and not save. Save as. Save again. Right, image. I seen it on my phone come through. I don't usually see them come through, but I seen something come through my phone. It was an email and it said PayPal, so I had to go and check because I knew someone had given me a PayPal or something. It was Greg B. Greg B. Bless you, man. You're a darling. I don't mean that in a girly way. You're a star. Let me just get the image up. Where is it? Document. Sorry, wrong one. At the bottom, it should be. There we go, bro. Open. I think this is the right one. Oh wow, 136 quid. That was probably, I don't know, $150. If it's 136 quid, Great British, that's probably $150, bro.
That's huge.
You said for being a great guy, love you, dude. Dude, I love you as well. You didn't have to do that, but it's appreciated, brother. Thank you very much. You are a blessing, man. Thank you very much, brother. 200. Oh, sorry, I wasn't trying to insult you. Bless you, bro. No, I don't know the exchange. I know UK is a bit more than US dollars, but I don't know the exact exchange. But bless you, man. Thank you very much.
Never judge a
$200.
horse by looking it in the mouth.
Sorry?
Don't ever look a gift horse in the mouth. That's what you always say. Remember that saying?
Oh yeah, I know the saying.
You can tell the age of a horse by looking in his mouth because the inside of his mouth turns black as he gets older. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Did you know that's what that meant?
No,
I didn't when I was a kid, and when I did learn it,
I didn't. I mean, I've said the saying, but I've never understood what it meant. Sorry. But yes,
my anus is here.
Jimenez has been here all night. Bless you. Nice one, Greg. You're a dude. Right. Let's get this one finished and we'll go and watch the movies. Well, the Chosen and then the movies.
Said it looking at Neil. Doesn't mean that it's anything suspicious per se, but it is a little bit unusual. And these guys, maybe they aren't great at doing these kinds of press conferences. This may just not be their thing. So the awkwardness that comes through it doesn't necessarily mean that it's because they're doing something deceptive. But there are certainly reasons why people feel like that they are being deceptive during this. I do see why this confuses people.
Earl, what stars we could see? I don't remember seeing any.
Neil, you were a little bit.
See, he looks to them almost like he's looking for approval. That's oftentimes what we do when we look to other people when we're talking about something. We wait to see their reaction, and then we base how we're going to do and what we're going to do moving forward based on their reaction. So it's interesting that he's looking to them, or maybe he's just commiserating with them because they all did something together. But it is interesting that he's looking at them rather than directly at the reporter as he's saying this.
I believe that what this country set out to do was something that was going to be done sooner or later, whether we set a specific goal.
There's the lip flicking again. I want you to keep an eye on that as he talks.
Going to be done sooner or later.
there's a lot of lip lipping in this, so there's a lot of comforting, isn't there? So, yeah.
I might have to stop
For a
licking my
reason.
lips. I do it because my lips get dry, and
Yeah,
then
you get dry. Yeah, of course.
I end up
Sometimes, but
chewing on my lip while I'm online. I don't know why I do that, but it's just like a nervous tick, I guess. But I do it like anytime I'm online for some reason. I just always like bite my lip thinking it's something.
where the hell's the dollar symbol on the keyboard? I don't use it ever.
It's
Where is it?
it's behind the number 4. Just press the tab button or the shift button and then the number 4. That's where it is on my keyboard.
Oh, that's euros for me.
And don't tell me you have a different keyboard in the UK because I don't believe you.
No, I've got euros on number 4 for me. Then
Okay. So it's a pound symbol instead of a dollar sign?
Yeah, pound symbol is on 3,
Okay.
euro symbol on 4.
But is it 4 dots? Is that what the pound symbol, or is it 4 lines crossing each other? Is that what the pound symbol looks like?
Pound symbol is it's like a
behind the
backwards
number
3.
3 on my
It's a bit
keyboard.
it's a bit like a backwards 3, like a backwards E.
Oh, okay, yeah, that kind. But I
Capital
know,
T.
see, the original pound symbol used to be that tic-tac-toe sign. Because
There is a way of doing it, I think.
old phones, I remember when you call like stupid companies, they tell you to dial the number and then press this button or this number after you got on the phone or some stupid thing. You remember those?
Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
That's what it's ringing a bell in my head from anyway.
Sorry, I've just done it another way. Right, that'll do.
Yeah, I've seen that movie too.
There we go. Just put up a banner for a bit. Thank you, Greg. I put a wee banner for a wee bit. I can't find the dollar. There's no dollar symbol on my keyboard.
You're
Only
weird.
updates. See,
I have a pound symbol and I have both.
See, only updates says hashtag pound symbol, also pound symbol. That's what I'm saying. I haven't got a dollar symbol on my keyboard. It's the same
Right,
with I don't know how to get if you're trying to get degrees, like say 360 degrees, and you've got the little 0 for degrees. Don't know how to do that on a keyboard. Haven't got a clue how to do that on a keyboard. There's got to be a way of doing it.
Well, yeah, it doesn't matter what's on your keyboard. You can get the characters, but I don't know how to do that. I don't remember how to do it, but I'm sure that there's a keyboard thing for it.
But it doesn't show you how to do it. There's no degrees on a keyboard to show you. Like it's on what's marked on there.
My phone has a degree symbol and like a square symbol. You just have to hold the 2 down or the 3 down until it turns into a.
I've got no degrees. Mind you, I've got a gamer's keyboard, so maybe that's different. I don't know. I'm not sure.
So.
Anyway,
they were all on a frequency. Every button on the keyboard is usually on a frequency, and whenever you hit that button, it tells the computer that frequency, it sends it, and it tells it that that's the key you hit. It doesn't really matter what's written on there, does it? It's kind of like, if you smell a flower, how do you know it doesn't smell like a turd?
If I take 3 without shift, it'll be 3. If I take 3 with shift, it'll be the pound sign. It won't be a dollar sign.
Right. Yeah, like mine does this.
Right, where did you get the dollar sign from? On the updates.
But I wonder if it's just a different frequency, you could have that button. You just don't. You
have to press it twice quickly or something. Let me just try this. I don't know. Maybe you have to press something else but shift, like alt or something.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's an alt or maybe it's a control or something.
No idea. No.
And you got your F keys and.
Oh, he's using the keyboard on his phone. I can do it on my phone. Phone's different.
Yeah, my phone has. Yeah, I can push the little button and it'll give me all kinds of extra characters like the.
Oh yeah, I can do everything on the phone, but
in some circle, I don't know what it means. I guess it means multiply or divide or something. Just a dot.
Let me just ask Google.
Remember that in algebra when they used to put a dot for multiplying instead of, you know what I mean? And they put parentheses and like.
No, for multiplying for me, multiplying was an X and an asterisk.
But sometimes they use a dot.
Dot multiplication.
It's a dot. Yeah, like in algebra. At least I did when I learned it, but I wasn't very good at it, so maybe I just don't remember it.
No, algebra for me wasn't a dot. Huh?
We used X's and Y's, and then we started using Z's when we got into trigonometry, but I wasn't interested in any of that, even though I probably should have been. But I didn't like math. I thought math was stupid. Because it's always like, like you go into math.
Yeah.
math class, and they'll be telling you that this thing is going to be true if this math problem turns out this way. And it's like, well, how the fuck do you know that? And who are you to, like, they just create this idea in their head, and all of a sudden this math is going to prove it. And I always thought that was just the dumbest thing in the world. It's just like, okay, I can make up a story and write a book, and then I can say it's true, but how do you prove it, right? How, like, if it's not really your experience, who would argue with you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I get you. I'm listening. I'm just trying to ask Google how it. Right. Type in a dollar character is as easy as pie if you have a standard keyboard. All you need to do is hold down the shift key and press the 4 key.
Yes,
No, I've got that. Mine's is euro.
If yours has a pound symbol in that place, that makes sense because you don't use dollars, you use pounds.
Oh,
so
no,
it
it
makes
does.
sense for it
No,
to be there.
no way. I didn't know that. Right. On my keyboard, it says euro, but it's typed dollar. It does type dollar.
Oh, really?
Look, but it says euro.
It doesn't have a pound, doesn't have an L with a line through it?
No, it's euro. It's like, no,
You
my
just
pound is, listen, this is my pound. Yeah, number 3. That's a pound. Number 3.
Huh?
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is a pound like this.
Yeah, well, that's a pound.
Wait, let me click on
That
it
is a
again.
pound. What I've typed, number 3.
That's what I get.
But my 4.
That's what I get when I
is
push
like-
that. I get pound because that's what it is.
No, that's not pound.
Well,
That's
pound
number.
is 16 ounces.
That
by the
means
way,
that's
not
hashtag.
3.
No, that's not pound. That's hashtag.
No, that's what pound. I'm telling you, in America, we use that as a pound symbol. I don't know why they called it that.
But you mean, hold on, for the weight pound?
No, when you would make a phone call, like on a hotline or something, they would tell you to call the number, and then when they answer, you press pound something. Get it?
Oh, pound. Oh, wait,
Yeah,
what's that?
so we had that on our
Hashtag?
phone, and so we'd use that like it was like an extra key on the phone.
No,
So
wait. Well, to us, that's hashtag.
But we
or
called
number.
it a. I know it's a
That's-
hashtag,
that-
but we
that-
called
that
it a
is
pound
also,
key. I don't
listen,
know why.
that is also a symbol for number. Like number, like you could use that for a symbol for number 4.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
hashtag 4 would mean number 4.
Yeah, I always thought it meant NO.
But yeah,
number.
they have got them on
Number,
phones, but I
yeah.
didn't know you called them
But
pound.
pound is spelled LB. Why is that? Because a pound
I think
is
it's just
an
to do
L,
with-
right?
I
Because they
think
use a
it's
symbol of L.
because if things used to get weighed with lead. Listen, I think it's because they used to get weighed in lead, and LB is the chemical symbol for lead.
Right.
So it's
yes.
probably that, isn't
Right,
it?
right. Because that's the comparison they would use when they weighed stuff out.
Yeah,
They'd have an exact
of
amount.
course, of
lead
course.
or- yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So that makes
Yeah.
sense, I guess.
Yeah, so now I know that. No way, honestly, on my keyboard that shows me the euro symbol for the euro dollars, euro money in Europe. But it does it. Turns out that's crazy. That's crazy.
Brothers.
Anyway,
Yanks.
all right.
Yep, we're Yanks.
Way
We're
off
Yanks.
topic. Way off topic.
Whether we set a specific goal or not, I believe that
To me, to
from the
you.
early
Somebody said Chuckle Brothers. To me, to
wasn't
you.
drunk
To
there.
me, to you.
Well, at least he wasn't drunk.
Yeah, right into the new of the Chuckle Brothers. I'll have to show them later on the Rumble side. I think me and Michael showed you once before. To me, to you.
Yeah, I think I
space flights,
remember.
we demonstrated the potential to carry out this type of a mission. And again, it was a question of time until this would be accomplished. I think
Now, one thing that's interesting, it looks like, based on where his eyes are gazing,
You've got a mate called, his initials are LB, so he's called Pound. Sandra said Pound is because of the Libra scales. Libra, LB for Libra. Is that what it is? Because the scales showing balance scales. Okay, makes sense, I suppose. I would have thought it may be to do with lead, but I could be wrong. Yeah, fair enough, man. Fair enough.
it looks like the person he's speaking to is not directly in front of him. So he's looking at him rather than facing him. And when we do that, it's less intense. So if I'm talking to somebody in an interview, you would expect that we're going to be facing each other directly. Just like if you're speaking to somebody out in an audience, you're going to point your head that direction. Interestingly, it seems that he's moving his eyes the direction.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just checked it. Refers to the scale of balance, while pondo meant by weight. Ah, pound, pondo. Right. Okay. So the abbreviation LB stands for, originates from the ancient Roman, like Sandro said, unit of weight, libra pondo. So it's LB, pondo, pound. So LB for the pound. Got it. Right. There you go. Sorted, mate. Sorted.
Well, it's in the sky. That's why it's so easy to
In the
remember.
sky, Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Who's LB? Google says,
Yeah, I
not
think
me.
it's
Google
PB.
says,
Yeah, bro.
lead is PB. You're right enough. Sorry,
Right.
my bad. My bad. You're right. Lead is PB. My bad. My bad. I got confused.
And why is iron like Fe? That doesn't make any sense.
Push button 62. Wow, I
Because
haven't
it's
seen
iron
you before.
ferrite. That's why they call it ferrite. Iron ferrite. Even though there's other kinds of ferrite. Whatever ferrite means, it's some kind of chemical name or whatever.
Yeah, no, he's right. He is right. I just said that. Yeah, I completely forgot. He's right. Absolutely, 100%. Thanks for busting in there and telling me. He's right completely. Yeah. He's right. I never said you were wrong.
Like I got this stuff right here in a little packet. See?
Yeah. Yeah, I just thought, because I was just thinking wrong
What
line.
does it say on there?
What's that?
It says zinc sulfate.
Zinc sulfide, yeah.
You know what
I've heard
zinc
that,
sulfide is? Sulfide? You know what zinc sulfide is? It's glow-in-the-dark powder, according to this package. Did you know that?
I thought it was.
It says do not eat. I wonder if I ate it, if it would hurt. If it would make me
your
glow in the dark.
your belly will glow in the dark. Like
My belly would probably glow in the dark. But I thought stuff that glowed in the dark was made from what is that stuff called back in the day? Radium. I thought radium was what made things glow in the dark, not zinc sulfide. I don't know.
But yeah, that's new guys in chat. Come feel with
Calcium
me.
fluoride is in a little bag too. It's bleach. But
Hold
they call
on,
it
hold on.
calcium fluoride.
Come
It's
feel with
basically
me.
watered down bleach. I
Come
don't know
feel with me
why.
in chat. New guy and push button.
Don't eat.
62 is new.
Don't eat it. It's bleach. Yeah, I don't think I don't eat it.
Shut up while I'm talking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Only joking.
You're not
They're good to see you, new guys. And sorry to call you new guys. It's just you got long names at the second. Bless you. Sodium testicles. Nice. I know I'm joking.
That
Tetraborate.
person,
I
and
believe
he's not
that is
facing them directly, which helps.
Sorry, guys. Good story, good.
I think.
Have I seen you elsewhere before? Or are you just new to this channel? Have I seen you elsewhere, Flaxes maybe, or you just new? Yeah. But welcome, guys.
Helps create some distance between them. And there could be reasons for that we're going to get into, but just watch this right here.
Carry out this type of a mission, and again, it was a question of time until this would be accomplished. I think the...
Sandro, just phone cool down now.
Yeah, put out on the window ledge.
Why not? Why not? Why not? Oh, you've been here a couple of times, and maybe Sobs. Yeah, probably Sobs. Then good to see you, bro. Good to see you.
Yeah, I've seen push buttons before.
Cool. No, I thought I thought he looked familiar. He's been around a while. I think his channel looks like he's been around a while, definitely.
The relative
I've seen him. It must be in Sobs. I think it's Sobs I've seen him.
ease with which we were able to carry out our mission, which of course came after a very efficient and a logical sequence of flights. I think that this demonstrated that we were certainly on the right track when we took this commitment to go to the moon.
Now, the phrasing there is very odd. Listen to this again. At least I think it's odd. You may disagree, but just listen to this part again.
I think that this demonstrated that we were certainly on the right track when we took this commitment to go to the moon. I think that
we were on the right track. We were on the right track. What do you mean you were?
We were on the right track when we took this commitment to go to the moon. It's just an interesting way to state that.
It's a very interesting way to state it because we were on the right track when we took the commitment. And maybe after you took the commitment and found out that you had to lie and fake it, you'd already took the commitment. You signed away.
Too late. Too late now.
Too late now.
Too late.
And then he licks his lips afterwards, which once again denotes stress and anxiety.
What this means is that many other problems perhaps can be solved in the same way by taking a commitment to solve them in a long time fashion.
Now, another thing you're going to notice is the position of his chin. Now, oftentimes when we leave our neck open, it's because we are allowing ourselves to be vulnerable. We're feeling comfortable. So if we leave our neck open, that shows that we're feeling vulnerable and that we're allowing ourselves to be open, honest, and whatnot. And when we're feeling defensive, sometimes we tuck our chins in. Right now, his chin is a bit tucked in. His has really been the whole time. But it's interesting that he takes what I would consider a somewhat defensive posture throughout this.
I think that we were timely in accepting this mission of going to the moon. It might be timely at this point to think in many other areas of other missions that could be accomplished.
Sorry, Ryan, did you say something?
I said, "You're up, buddy." Smiley.
Yeah, you're up. You're up. Is that
What?
not a
Yeah,
place?
yeah, you're up, smiling. He's like, "Oh shit, it's my turn." Oh fuck.
I live in the UK. I'm from Europe. Excellent.
So obviously, as you see, Buzz Aldrin looks
You
at
can hear
Neil
the laughter in
Armstrong.
the
Neil
background.
Armstrong looks at Michael Collins. Obviously, they're all laughing because none of them particularly want to answer these questions. And that may be part of what's so important about how to interpret this, is that maybe none of them are very comfortable up there. And it may not be because they're being deceptive. It could just be that none of them are particularly interested in answering.
Yes, Aaron.
Bullshit.
Yeah, yes, Aaron.
People don't do that for no reason.
Laughter to cut the tension of Christian misery. Absolutely.
Everywhere
No,
else we
no.
saw him before this, he was confident, really cocky, confident. That's why we like these guys, because they're cocky like us. They're real men, you know. They want to go out there and accomplish things and do things. And we need people that are not scared of that to do that. So that's why we pick these guys. So when they come back and they're like, literally like they just got beat by their wives and don't want to tell anybody, that's
Like
something's not
this,
right.
there is no confidence on their faces at all. Exactly. Complete 180 from before when they allegedly were going, you know, and when they allegedly come
Crush
back.
misery. Aaron's got it.
Yeah. They should have been over the moon, literally.
Answering questions in front of a bunch of press.
Everybody looking at me? Well, to me, there are near and far term aspects to it. On the near term, I think it's a technical triumph for this country to have said what it was going to do a number of
Absolutely.
years ago, and then by golly, do it just like we said we were going to do it. Not just perhaps purely technical, but also.
So I talked about that defensive posture. Now, it could have been that he was hiccuping or that something.
Right there, I bet.
Could have been hiccuping, but still,
I bet you
it's
he
not
almost threw up right there. I bet you that's what
Yeah.
it was. I bet you he almost got sick.
It could
That
have.
looked,
Yeah,
like, it looked to me like he was about ready to go and gag.
It could have been the acid in the back. The reflux,
It's
the
burning away.
reflux from the lies he's telling.
Thing is, we all know nobody's been to space. Space doesn't exist.
Of course. I mean, if you've been to the moon, then you've done more than anybody else because nobody can stand on the moon. I don't believe it's not a solid object. It's within the firmament, so it's not in space. There is no space.
No, there isn't. And here's why. I don't know if anybody else has ever thought of this, PJ, but I'll ask you a couple of questions. How fast is the ISS supposedly traveling?
27,500. No, hold on. 17,500 miles.
17,500
miles per
17,500.
hour.
Yeah. What about rockets?
Change
What
direction.
about rockets?
Rockets have got to go to 20. Well, no. Well, to breach the Earth's atmosphere to space, they're meant to go 25,000 miles.
25,000. Yeah. So therefore, what speed is the sun going? Is the Earth going around the sun? and taking the moon with it.
Yeah, well,
166,000 miles per hour.
66k, yeah, 66.6. And how fast is the sun traveling? Are we chasing it?
Yeah, it has sixes in it.
Millions. I don't know. It's not 500,000 miles an hour.
Well, yeah,
half a million.
Yeah, you're
right.
Like
so think of this. Once a rocket or something goes beyond the Kármán line, it is no longer subject to the physics of the Earth and the atmosphere.
Sure.
Correct?
Yeah.
So if the Earth is traveling faster than the ISS or the rockets,
you would literally be.
They would shoot past them. They would shoot past them.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
It's an impossibility, and I've never heard anybody else speak about this.
Of course, but they say that they're propelling themselves through the vacuum of space beyond that as well.
Ow.
You know what I mean? So, but they can't propel themselves. There's nothing to propel themselves off. If it was a true place.
What I'm saying, once they reach Kármán line, then they're no longer subject to the physics of Earth and the atmosphere.
I think
so.
No,
so
I think,
I
think in their model, there's still the gravity towards the Earth still exists. Depends how far you are away from it in space.
Yeah, I would say
on the ISS, the reason they lean to one side a little bit is because the Earth's gravity. That's what they say. So
yeah, they always find an excuse.
Yeah, of course they do. Of course,
and back engineer it.
Right, and then when they're spacewalking, there's no airflow moving past them. It's just they're just floating around weightless.
Exactly, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
It'd have to be.
I get exactly what you're saying, though, Sandro.
Yeah,
exactly
I do.
If the rocket's traveling at 25k and the sun is traveling at 500k, it should just disappear in a split second.
Exactly, it's ridiculous.
That just popped in my head after smoking a joint the other night.
I have a lot of trouble believing that they can go faster than even 1,000 miles per hour. I think that when you get to a certain speed, any change of direction causes such forces that would literally cause you death. It would kill you.
It would liquefy you, or it would liquefy your body.
Yeah,
Well,
separate the plasma from your blood, bro.
Look if you put them like just a little wooden disc or even some metal disc on a rotator and it spins at a certain RPM, whatever, and it goes so fast, it disintegrates. No, like, you know what I'm on about?
Everything has what I call the molecular number. Like once you get it spinning or get it too much agitation, it just becomes it explodes. I think that's what Einstein was hinting at when he said E equals mc squared. He's basically saying that if you hurl something fast enough, that it will become energy. If you move fast enough in space and time, that you would literally become electricity. You would, and I think that makes sense. But I don't necessarily agree with all the other crap that he came up with either. But I mean, that by itself makes a little bit of sense. But then he went on to string theory, which just went completely out in left field. I don't know where that came from, but
stupid.
Random. I mean, I get it. We try to we think about things in mathematics because it's easier for us, because it's hard to sit there and think about different situations and how they would relate to each other. That's why we have math. But math is not the answer to anything. It's just literally a helper for you to understand the things that we do know, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't think you can create a theory and then make it true because of math. I don't believe in that. I think that's scientists trying to make it themselves sound expensive so they can get their benefits, get their money.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Look at these medical centrifuges when they put the little test tube of blood in. And they spin it around, and it separates the blood from the plasma.
And it's not going 17,000.
That would happen to your body.
Exactly. It's ridiculous to say we're going these ridiculous amounts of speeds and vectors, and it's all over the place, man.
Why would you need to? As long as you're moving comfortably, you only need to go a couple hundred miles per hour. What's the big deal?
Right, let's get this finished.
Better, right?
Let's get this finished because it's 2 a.m. for me. You know.
Yeah, carry on.
Came up in his throat.
To bed now.
But watch this. If that's
well, I've still got to go over. I've still got to go over and do movies and Rumble and that. So
I was on Sandy Diva's channel for 5 hours on live. I was on the panel.
Oh, nice.
Until 5:30 this morning. I didn't really get any sleep.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna drop out now, PJ, Ryan. Chat.
Dude,
Good night all. Bless you all. See ya. Ciao.
Love you, Sandro.
If that's not what was happening, because it's hard to hear that, that's a very defensive posture he just took.
Not just perhaps purely technical, but also a triumph for
he almost got
the
sick.
nation's overall determination, will, economy, attention to detail, and 1,001 other factors that went into it. That's short term. I think
when
long term,
your body's
But then
ready
again,
to
he's
go.
tucking his chin again as he's.
Yeah.
Now when your body's ready to vomit and you start to do those burps and your body's preparing and your mouth starts watering, it's
you
every
start
sign
watering, you
right
try to
there.
swallow it down so you don't feel sick. And the more you swallow it down, the more you feel sick. And just waters more, and that's it. You go. Oh, it's hard, man.
Saying with that short term.
1,001 other factors that went into it. That's short term. I think long term, we find for the first time that man has the flexibility or the option of either walking this planet or some other planet, be it the moon or Mars.
You didn't go to any planet. You didn't even go to the moon.
Notice how he's not looking at anybody in particular. He's just staring out when he lies. You
Yeah.
can tell.
He's
very,
looking
very
out
obvious.
to nobody. Yeah, well, he'll have lights in his eyes and stuff like that, so he won't be too. He'll see some, but he's just looking across them. You know, he's not looking at any particular. It's a pretense.
Or I don't know where, and I'm poorly equipped to evaluate where that may lead us to.
So now let's see if their behavior was the same or different.
So this is before. This is before.
Before they went on the mission.
Now you're going to see real men.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason why they're fidgeting is because they're bored. They want to get this over with.
Where you happen to be, and of course, the time period from when your foot leaves the surface till when it comes back down again is going to be longer than it is in
Yeah, it certainly seems a bit. I mean, he was more confident than the other ones anyway.
Yeah, he did seem that way. Yeah, you're right.
But he was certainly still struggling. I mean, whether he's a bit more excited as though he thought it was going somewhere, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think that maybe beforehand they thought they weren't going. I thought maybe beforehand they might be going, but then they found out they had to fake it. It's a possibility. But sometimes I just think they were lying all the way through, you know?
It looks like he's being skeptical here. He's being serious. He looks like he knows what he's talking about, and he's waiting for somebody to say something that he knows about so he can speak it, right? But in that other video, he's not doing that. He's avoiding everything for I don't even know why. It doesn't make any sense. Like, what would they have said to him? No matter what happened, no matter whether they faked it or not, let's just look at it this way. Why would they tell them not to say anything about this? Why would they do that to him right before they put him on TV? It doesn't make any sense. It's like they set him up.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see right here, Buzz Aldrin once again is playing with a pen. So that didn't change. Now, if you believe that they didn't actually go on this mission, you would probably say, well, they were anxious during the pre-flight press conference as well. Maybe that's the case. But just to point out, that behavior is the same. That same level of closed offness, the same kind of fidgeting with his pen, that doesn't look any different.
Pace, walking pace, or a trotting pace sort of on the earth.
His hands are together, but they're not as closed off as they were before. Before they were clasped together. I mean,
this wasn't. Yeah, this was more like a TV thing. It wasn't like there was shitloads of people right there in front of you asking you questions. Yeah,
of course. I still think there's deception going on here. You know what I mean? Like that.
And of course, this gives the rotational disturbances more time to have an effect. In doing some of the training in the zero-G airplane, which has been flying at 16G for this phase of it, it looks as though a fairly rapid pace. I'd hesitate to call it a run. Is
So you're seeing a lot of lip licking, lots of uhs, lots of anxiety and stress. So it could just be that Buzz Aldrin really does not like to talk in front of the cameras because he seems very uncomfortable.
That's understandable. First time, well, not first time in front of the cameras, but doing the initial one.
Yeah, comparing the two.
The after one, they should have been. Doesn't matter how nervous they were. they would have been okay to make a fool of themselves because they were that excited. They should have been anyway.
But as soon as you ask them, well, how do you feel about the rocket and when you take off? How does that feel? They would be able to explain that to you in great detail without having to flip or flop or worry about what they're saying. You know what I mean? That's why you ask them those kind of questions.
Of course.
Comfortable here, much as he does during the post-flight press conference as well.
It's quite easy to perform, and it looks like we shouldn't have too much difficulty in moving at something like 6, 8, 10 miles an hour. But this is one of the tasks that we'll be attempting to evaluate very early in the EVA.
Everyone down here in the corner. For Neil Armstrong, by the nature of your assignment, if you carry it out successfully, you're destined to become a historical personage of some consequence. And I'm wondering if in that light
reminds me of that little kid.
I don't. Yeah, there's still deception before as well. Before and after, they're deceiving people. Yeah.
Obviously, they were skeptical because you gotta remember they were the ones testing these things, and the guy who flew, like he's the one. Isn't he the one that flew the lander? And they tried it so many times, and they crashed it every time. And he had to bail out like 6 different times. He crashed the thing because it wouldn't fly. So the day he was getting ready to go to the moon, they were talking about using this thing that he knew was going to wreck on Earth. So why would it work on the moon?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there had to have been all kinds of worry there. That's natural, but yeah.
But no, I think there's still deception on the before interview as well as the after.
But they came back being afraid to talk about it. Here, they don't look like they're afraid to talk about it. They're just confused.
No, not so much.
Yeah, exactly.
Not so much, though. No.
Decided upon something suitably historical and memorable to say when you perform this symbolic act of stepping down on the moon for the first time?
No, I haven't.
So you saw him rub his nose. Now, this is a way to pacify ourselves. Now, it could just be that he feels stressed about the idea of being such a big part of history, but there was some pacifying required after that question was asked.
Still like the act of stepping down on the moon for the.
That was a natural smile of his. That was him being nervous naturally. When he's not worried about someone picking apart everything he said. But once you get on that side of that military side of it, I can understand why they were so nervous. You know what I mean? Even if there wasn't anything going on, I think they would have been nervous because, of course, you know, there's a lot of pressure on you to say the right things in the right way so that people don't misunderstand the trip and all this stuff. If it was real, then I'd want it to be clear. I wouldn't want you making a mistake and then people thinking you're an idiot. And then I'm the one that sent you to space, even though you're an idiot. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. That's what you worry about. But when you're worried about what lies are going to be told, that's a completely different kind of nervous. You know what I mean?
Hey, super. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Yeah, man, I get you. I still think at the start of it, this beginning interview before they went, obviously there's a difference with the end one. With that, the end one's a lot of deception. I still think they're deceiving us about something. Whether they thought they were going here or not, I don't know. But they're deceiving us about something. They're definitely still trying to deceive us.
Hi, Mr. Super Sidewinder. Did you get any sleep?
Was he with you as well, yeah?
Yeah, we were both in there. I don't know if he was on the panel the whole time, but he was in the chat.
Where was that at?
Over at Sandy Diva's Mandela Effect thing. It's just a show that we watch. A bunch of people that are from here and from Flatses go over there. I don't know if they follow me or what, but
I've never had a Sandy Diva. I've never had a Sandy Diva. I've never heard of Sandy Diva at all.
Really? Oh, maybe somebody should post a link.
Yeah, do it.
First time.
No, I haven't.
I hope he doesn't say, oh, I slipped. There's one back here.
I mean, yeah, I agree that it's a natural smile.
And you see his body moving back and forth. That's something that we also saw at the post-flight press conference, where his body is shifting back and forth. So when he gets uncomfortable, he moves. He's not somebody who can sit still very easily after something that feels intense to him.
I hope he doesn't say, oh, I slipped. There's one back here.
Fine particles, but we do hope and expect to see some rock fragments.
Nice one, man.
have no idea what size they might be, but we would anticipate that we'll have be able to bring.
So what we're seeing right here, while somewhat less stress, does mimic very much what they did afterward. So we are seeing a consistency with body language here.
Samples back up to and including the size of a golf ball. There may be larger rocks in the vicinity, but we wouldn't expect to bring back samples, large samples.
All right, let's go ahead and stop here. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the behavior and body language that we saw. Now,
sorry, Ryan. Yeah, I've got
They're definitely nervous, but not. I think there's a difference. I don't know if there's a lot of difference, but you can tell there's a bit. They changed. Something's different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, you
There's
have
a
to
big
admit
difference.
that at least, right? Yeah.
Oh, of course, there's a big difference between the beginning one and the end one. Oh, with that.
as I said before, I am not a moon landing skeptic, and I remain in the same position. That being said, I do acknowledge that there was a lot of pacifying behavior that we saw. We saw what some people might associate.
Fair enough for him saying that. Fair enough for him saying that. I still don't understand why you believe it with the other evidence, not just this. Loads of other evidences out there. I don't understand how you can dismiss them, but fair enough for him saying that. You know what I mean? He is trying to be neutral.
With lying or deception. We saw people having to calm themselves down a lot. Now, there are multiple explanations for this potentially. It could be that they're uncomfortable because of being in front of all of these people. It could be that they're uncomfortable because they just went on a space trip, because they were in quarantine for 21 days. There's a variety of reasons why they could be stressed, but we do see distinct patterns of certain questions, particularly as it relates to memories of going into space. We do see more signs of pacification and more of a need to calm themselves down at those times. So I can actually see why people are skeptical and suspicious of this press conference, or of both of these press conferences.
There you go. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Here comes the but. He's going to say but. Wait.
Yeah, of course, there's a but. Of course, there's a but. Of course, or however.
However, we have to believe the mainstream, because if we don't, they won't promote us. So we're going to do what we have to do. Sorry.
Because their behavior does suggest a lot of stress and anxiety. And you would think for people that are astronauts that they would manage it a little bit differently. But ultimately, this was also a time period where people were not on TV a lot, where an event like this was one of the biggest events in human history. So it could just be that there was a tremendous amount of pressure and they didn't know how to act on TV, that they didn't feel comfortable with it. It's also possible that there was lying and deception going on. That is possible. I'm not convinced that the lying and deception that may have gone on.
Why would they be so nervous? It doesn't make sense to me. Like I would literally just get up on a stage and do all this stuff. I would get myself used to it so that I could perform, because I know I have to lie my ass off and I have to make it look good. You would think that they would have put forth like a lot more effort for it, but it's almost like they were so scared of it. They were afraid to do it right because they were afraid it was going to make their family think they're liars, right? And then once your family knows you're a liar, though, because they know when you're lying, right? Your family does, right? So that's what I think this is, but that's just my opinion, though, of course.
Yeah, Kuma. Yeah, I'd be nervous as well, but the deception's obvious. But there's definitely a change between this one, the initial one, and the latter one, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Was specifically related to the idea that they didn't go on some sort of space mission, that they didn't walk on the moon. But I do understand why some people find their body language confusing or off. Now, there are some things that I didn't see, because I looked in the comments because I was curious what people believed they were observing. I saw people saying they appeared sad, there appeared to be shame. We didn't see any of the typical signs of sadness or shame. We saw a lot of anxiety.
I mean, he's the body language expert, but I seen sadness. I seen like burden on their shoulder.
They were scared. Let's put it that way. They were swallowing every single drop of spit in their mouth every time they were swallowing hard. Yeah, something isn't right.
So he is trying to be neutral, but ending off, he is showing his bias without a doubt.
Lots of nervousness, lots of stress, but no sadness, no shame, nothing like any of those kinds of behaviors. So as far as that goes, I think that people may project ideas that they felt shame or sadness here, but we really didn't see any body language that was consistent with that. What we saw
if I was
three
on there
guys
talking
that all
to him,
appeared
I would have
very
said,
stressed.
okay,
and
when's the last time you masturbated? And then I'd wait for that funny look to go on his face. And if it didn't, then I'd be like, well, you're full of shit too. And I would have left.
Didn't really want to be doing what they were doing. If you have any additional thoughts about this, or if there's other things you want me to analyze that we can add to this analysis, I'm more than happy to do so. If people are interested in this, I'll analyze whatever you want. Doesn't matter to me.
That's it. Finished anyway. That's it. Finished. He's just finished off. It's only been like 10 seconds.
Doesn't matter to him. Then why is he wasting his time making a video about it? I don't get it.
Well, that's it. That's it. Of course. I mean, he seemed like he was staying neutral. At the end, that he did show his bias.
I love that bias hidden by the invisible bias bullshit. Yeah, I love it.
I've got to play DJ. I promised I played in with DJ New Moon's new song, but I'll play out with it as well, because after that we're going to head over to Rumble. I'll put the links in while DJ New Moon's song's on, and then I will be making a coffee ready for the movies. So DJ New Moon.
Look for me in there now, guys.
Are you sticking around? Are you right? Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna switch to my phone so I can go out and do some more yard work because I'm busy. But yes, I will be with you, sir, as long as I can, as long as my phone allows me.
All right. See you in a little bit. Right, DJ Newman.
Truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong. Lift your voice, let it resound. The truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong. Just past the veil, firmament high, we will not fail. Jesus reigns, the King of Kings, in his hands, the peace he brings. He's the light, the truth our guide, in this flat earth we'll take pride. Lift your voice, let it resound, the truth will prevail, it won't steer us wrong, 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 wrong. No spin. No tilts. Start. stars dance across the sky. Across the sky.
DJ Newman. Wow, DJ. Look at all the popcorn.
I love that.
look at DJ's. Look at, if I put DJ's thing up in StreamYard, look what it looks like.
What the hell? That's funny. Chocolate popcorn, yellow stripe chocolate pop. I didn't notice that it was chocolate popcorn. Damn, I missed that part.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy nuts, man. Excellent, excellent. Right, guys. Link again for StreamYard if you just want to start heading over there, man.
And yes, DJ, we like it. It was good. We did like it. I like that tune too.
DJ, man,
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how the AI does it, but they're always catchy.
Love it, man. Love it. Fantastic. I've got 7 of his tracks in here now. Mr. Super Sidewinder's got some new ones coming out as well. Can't wait. Can't wait. Link. There's a link for Rumble, guys. Bless you. If you're not joining us in Rumble, see there. Well, it's 2 episodes I've chosen and the movie Leave the World Behind. Thanks for joining us on YouTube if you're not joining us in Rumble. Yeah, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure, gadgets and gadgets. And I love you very, 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 very much. And bless you. Hear the sunset spring. It's me.
Indeed.
Indeed. Bless you. Ta-da.